Hello everyone. I know it's been a long time since I've last posted a video. I took a little bit of family time off for about a week and a half, drove up to the Northeast, and while I was up there, I had a chance to visit Old Town Canoe and Kayak. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's an impromptu tour of their facility.
Like, nope, it's going to be Old Town, it's going to be quality. And so we shifted towards more quality boats. We make about 100,000 boats out of this facility in a year.
Thank you.
All right, that's here. So yeah, we moved, I think I told you, we moved in 2008. And this building was just a warehouse. And so they built out these offices off the front of the warehouse. So this is what our old factory front looked like. It was started by the Gray family. They had a hardware store in Old Town, and a bunch of people that worked on the river as log drivers. They'd float logs down the river. In the wintertime, the river would lock up with ice, and so they would need work to do in the wintertime. And so a lot of these log drivers picked up other crafts, like making snowshoes, making canoes. And so they hired a couple guys and they started making canoes out of the back of Gray's hardware store. And that started Old Town. At the time it was called Indian Old Town Canoe. And in 1900 they changed the name to Old Town Canoe Company. So it was owned by the Gray family until about 1976, and then the Johnson family purchased Old Town. And the Johnson family owns, S.C. Johnson Wax is the same family that owns the Johnson Outdoors. Pretty cool building here. So we make about 100,000 boats a year out of this facility, both under Old Town and Ocean Kayak brands. We have the ability to hold roughly 4,000 boats. Again, about 100,000 boats a year. That's between our recreational brands and products, as well as our fishing kayak. What you see here is a finishing line. So they're finishing off the Malibu 9.5s right now, our recreational sit-on-top kayak from Ocean Kayak. And we've got several of these lanes where once they're out of the oven and they cool down, they get outfitted with all the hardware and rigging, and then they're stacked and then put into inventory, and usually they're wrapped up and put on a truck and shipped out, or they're put into inventory for a future order. But we do a lot of drop shipping for larger customers, and we also do a fair amount direct-to-consumer sales as well. So if a customer wants to buy directly from us, they can, or they can buy from us on our website, and it's shipped to a local retailer that participates in our ship-to-store program. But the majority of our products ship to specialty shops and larger sporting retail stores. So pretty awesome operation we've got here. Most people that work here have worked here for like a long time. Several multi-generational boat builders, like their grandparents and their grandparents' grandparents, worked here. So there's a lot of pride in what we do. And so it's really hard to get a manufacturing job here, which is pretty unique. Once people get on the first shift, they usually stay on the first shift until they retire or die. And so second shift and third shift, you got to pay your dues before you get a chance to work first shift. So a lot of pride into building our boats. A lot of these people have been with us a really long time. So something that definitely attracted me when I came in for my interview is like, man, this is a really special place. So he's checking the hull for any cracks or any issues. It obviously passed, so it gets right up on here, and then they start throwing all the hardware on, all the handles, all the bungees, anything like that, and it works its way down until it gets wrapped in inventory. The Topwater launch was by far our most popular launch, our most, I would say, our best launch of all time. The demand is super high right now for Topwater pedals, both 106 and 120 pedal models. People want pedal, and people really like what we're doing with the Topwater series. So that's been a wildly successful product launch for us, and it has far exceeded our forecasts and expectations. So you can see over here, we got our pedal drive units. Our pedal drive units, as you guys know, have the 5-year warranty. It goes through rigorous Q&A, and we have very, very few failure rates. We're sub 1% failure rates on our pedal drives, which gives us the confidence to go 5 years. So we see very few of them back. and we do all the Q&A work and building of the drives right here.
The yellow one, the one for the Malibu?
Yep, the yellow denotes the Ocean Kayak Malibu pedal, and you'll see 106 and 120 pedals in here, and sometimes you'll see a Predator pedal as well. This is a thermoforming machine. This spits out a canoe in 4 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So we've got sheets of thermoform plastic on pallets. We load that into the oven. The oven heats up the sheet, it bags out, it rotates around, and we can make a canoe in 4 minutes with this machine. Ovens you see here are single place ovens. Probably don't want to take any shots of them close up, but the big oven we're going to get to is definitely off limits to video, but these ones here aren't special. I mean, there's several other kayak and canoe companies that make with these style ovens, but they're basically single place ovens that oscillate forward and backwards and side to side, and inside the boat is spinning like this. And these we dedicate to our longer boats, the boats that don't fit in the big oven over there. So like our Trident 15s, our casting touring boats that are like 15 to 17 feet long, the Dirigo tandems, those are kind of reserved for these ovens. And since these ovens are single place, they're more expensive to build a boat, since it takes time to take the mold off, put a new mold on. There's time is money, and so you want to try to make boats as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So these are more expensive by nature because it requires more time to get them up and running and then to change the mold over from model to model. Whereas some of our other ovens, we're able to plug and play different models as we go. This is the plastic that we use, the resin powder that we use, and we measure it by pounds. And depending on what color the boat is, we put a certain ratio or poundage ratio into the mold, and it oscillates and makes the colors. So you'll see some like Photic, for instance, very popular color for us right now is teal and black and gray. And basically we map out what colors go where to get the mixture and the patterning that we get. And so what you see here is basically the powder that we use to make boats. This is our photo lab. So we do all of our studio photography and a lot of our overview videos and things like that in here. Trade show stuff we store in here. But like, we'll do all of our studio photography, which we're actually getting ready to transition over to the other building. But
Yeah, 'cause they need AC.
yep, yeah, we do put the ACs on in here when we're working. But like, you might recognize this as the set for all of our overview videos. This boat right here is circa 1906.
Oh my gosh,
Wood
and it's still
canvas.
alive.
Yeah, wood canvas canoe, hand painted. What's really neat about this boat is obviously made by hand. It's got these what's called sponsons that run the full gunnel from bow to stern, and this added additional buoyancy. And so we saw a lot of boats in the early 1900s to 1940s that had these what are called sponsons on them, and just to add more buoyancy to the boat. But we made a lot of these boats that were considered courting canoes that were used by the teenagers down in the greater Boston area to sneak away with your special someone. So there's just a lot of history with canoes and culture in the New England area in the turn of the century. But we were shipping canoes all over the place. We made war canoes for Disney. We shipped canoes, across the world, but a lot, to the West Coast and upper Midwest, and there's just a lot of old town history that's spread all over the country, that originates here in Maine. What's really neat is I'm going to see if I can break us in, but we have basically a catalog room that has these wooden boxes that have all of our boats that were ever manufactured written down on a production card and signed by everybody that put them together. And so if you found a boat at a yard sale and wanted to give us a call and try to find the history behind that boat, we could look up that card, tell you when it was made, who made it, if it ever came back for repairs, where it originally shipped to, and obviously what year it was made. So we've got an archive here that tells you all of the boats ever made. And so like this boat in particular, we could look up the serial number and tell you who made this boat back in 1906. So
It's amazing.
pretty cool.
What a special treat it was being able to tour the facility. I want to thank Old Town Johnson Outdoors and everyone else that had a hand in inviting me up there to tour the factory. It was an experience. And I hope each and every one of you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Click that thumbs up button. And until next time, tight lines, y'all.